Alright, welcome to an Eagle 6 production. We're going to be fitting the new Eagle 6 spring, which is going to be about 330 FPS, hopefully, as long as the Sopmod's performing up to scratch. We've already tested it once already, but it had fitted a PDI barrel and a Firefly hop rubber, and it was getting, we've seen before, that increased the gun by about 20 FPS, and it was getting about 350 FPS with the new spring, which is this one here. As you can see, it's the same length with the original Sopmod spring here. We're hoping that we get about 330 FPS by fitting this today. This is going to be an installation video showing you how to do it yourself, so you have the confidence to buy the spring and then fit it yourself at home. As you can see, Sopmod here, it's got the original spring still fitted. We're just going to disassemble it now, and yeah, hopefully a good video for you. Start off with the back, pop it off, take the battery out. The stock comes off, one easy movement. Just pull this pin here at the bottom all the way out, and then just slide it off. Somewhere out of the way. We start with the rail here that covers the wires. One screw, Phillips. Put him somewhere safe. Second screw, Phillips. Somewhere safe. Rail comes off, shows the wires underneath. This little wire cover here, use your fingers and just pick that out. We've got another screw here holding on the battery connector. Underneath this, underneath the screw which fell here and here, is a little washer. Make sure you grab hold of that. The washer is important. It goes this side of the connector, and obviously stops the screw touching any of these contacts. Take it off and remove the spring which is underneath. Now we've got the connector free. What you want now is your stock pipe tool, which is a wrench, and just pop it onto the ring. And basically twist to unlock the locking ring, which is this here. That will then unlock the ring. Pull it back, and the one behind it, so that they're sort of about that position there. Now what you want to do is move the wire left, okay, out the way of the rail which is underneath. Right, now that it's out of the rail and the rings are in the middle here, you can now twist the stock pipe off, okay, free of not catching the wires, which I've done here many a times because I've had to do this a ridiculous amount of times now testing the springs. But you just twist now, making sure that the wires are out of the rails, and just sort of brace it a little bit as you get towards the end, because it's obviously holding a spring in. There we go. That then pops out. What you want to do now is relocate the wires back in the trench, or the wire run, whatever we like to call it. Now once that wires are in there, this is important because otherwise you won't get these off, is now pull them over the wires, okay? That one then straight off. Wires back in the trench. Now it's important when you're using this locking ring is to not cross the threads. So I'd go left before you go right a few times, just to try and find the right thread. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not difficult, but it is fiddly. It's fiddly, borderline, goddamn annoying. get on the thread. There you go. If it's any more difficult, then I mean, if you need the tool for this particular part here, then it's too tight. Okay, and over time, as the paint wears off, which it will, so don't worry about that. It adds character. It'll get. I mean, it just shouldn't be harder than finger tight. So we twist this off with our hand here. Now, I'm pretty sure we're roughly 5 minutes in now. If you've already done the original spring, already taken the original spring out, at this point you could now do a quick spring change. So we pull the stock pipe back now because it's completely detached. This is obviously the recoil tube assembly. You can untwist this bit here, and this is where the recoil spring is located. That's how we twist this off now. There we go, and that's the recoil spring from the recoil unit. So we can tip this now, and out the recoil unit comes. Now this spring here is what I've tried to, I've doubled the strength of this spring in the new double strength recoil spring that we're doing from Eagle 6, to try and get this bit here to, oh crap, to basically return faster like that, creating a bigger bang. Because obviously as it goes back, it can only go back at such a speed to that point there when the spring's at full compression, but as it goes forward it then creates a noise. See? So as it goes back through the motor power and then goes faster backwards at the, and it's this motion which obviously creates the recoil feel. So we've done a double strength spring. This is just a standard one here to go nicely on there to try and increase the recoil strength. Got this back on here. You can take that apart to your heart's content, that doesn't really matter. Just make sure this goes back on nice and tight. There we go, we put this aside. Out the way, that's the spring guide that comes off it. The spring guide is obviously located on the end of the recoil tube. We'll leave that on there so we know where it is. Righty, now we take the ring off. Notice the direction of the notches there, away from the gun. We take whatever this is called off. Notice the direction of the notch towards the gun. Alright, be careful with the wires. You can see with the 1,000 times that I've done this, testing the springs, testing millions of springs, I've obviously worn as it's been catching, because it is a fiddly process, so just take your time, do it slowly, make sure the wires don't catch, and you'll be fine. Right, now what we'll do, we'll take the top section off. One pin located here